in at this moment on 26. Remember, the Lok Sabha Speaker election is going to take place for the 18th Lok Sabha. What we are learning from our sources is that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will move the motion for the name of the Lok Sabha Speaker candidate in the Lok Sabha on June 26. After the election of the Speaker, Prime Minister Modi will introduce his Council of Ministers to the members in the House. This is the latest that we are getting at this moment. On June 27, the President will address the joint session of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha as per the tradition. Let me go across to my colleague Vasudha Venugopal. Vasudha, the Speaker's post is a coveted post. Last two governments in 2014, 2019, no problem for the BJP. They had the numbers. This time, the opposition also, with its renewed strength, trying to in fact put up some sort of a fight as far as the election of the Lok Sabha Speaker is concerned.
Absolutely, Ankit. And with the revised numbers, with the NDA standing at 293 and with BJP at 240, and of course, opposition also cobbling up numbers to actually put forward a very aggressive opposition, this is going to be the Speaker's election is going to be the biggest highlight of the 18th Lok Sabha session that, of course, begins on the 24th of June. 26th is what we hear, that the Prime Minister will himself move the motion for the name of the Lok Sabha Speaker. After the election of the Speaker, what I understand is that the Prime Minister will also be introducing his Council of Ministers, which is as per traditions of the Lok Sabha. Remember, the whole cabinet portfolios have been allocated. The whole cabinet is functioning now. Allies have also gotten about 11 berths. And on June 27th is when President Draupadi Murmu will address a joint sitting of the Parliament with both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha MPs. And we are expecting the Prime Minister to speak, to reply to this motion of thanks of the President on the 2nd of July or 3rd of July. Remember, 3rd of July is also the last day of this first part of the Parliament session. Of course, the second part will also include the budget, which will basically be held in the second half of July. But clearly a very interesting Lok Sabha session ahead, with the opposition insisting that it will be raising topics of NEET and, this railway accident that has happened today. And of course, several other issues, including federalism and a couple of issues which have been making news in the last few months. I think all of that is going to really resonate in the Parliament this time, and with the numbers there, it could be interesting. But of course, the BJP also is putting forward a position, is speaking from a position of strength, and is preparing to ensure that this is basically a smooth session.
Vasudha, before I let you go, very quickly, the Prime Minister, in fact, putting forward the name of the Lok Sabha Speaker, that will also be the Bharatiya Janata Party trying to put forward their weight behind the Speaker's post. It will happen post the discussion in the NDA, and they would hope that the Prime Minister putting his name behind the Speaker will ensure that there are no defections as far as the votes of the NDA is concerned.
Absolutely, Ankit. And what I hear from my sources is that there could be a meeting that could be held this week towards the later part of this week, around June 23rd, of NDA allies, and the name is going to be discussed. And like a lot of us have been projecting BJP as this mountain of confidence with 240 MPs, but the BJP is also wanting to make sure that it has its allies on the right side, because this is TDP and JDU that we're talking about. These are parties that have worked with the opposition in the past. So clearly this is something that the BJP is aware of, that there is no ideological, binding or limitation for these parties. They can actually go to the other side. But however, they have put on this, show of unity. They have completely assured the BJP of their support. So this NDA meeting that will take place will, of course, decide the consensus candidate. And of course, from there, we will see as to what really happens. Of course, because the Deputy Speaker's post is also going to be a point of contention. We've seen what happened in the last few years. In fact, it remained vacant in the last session. So we'll have to wait and see how the opposition allies also look at a position like this.
Important days ahead as the formalization of the 18th Lok Sabha begins on June 26.